something similar. So what I'm going to do is just read some facts about the ocean. And then there will be ocean sounds in the background, which you probably know by now. So this list of facts comes from, I think it's Heyyyy. It's a university in Hawaii. And these are 20 fun facts about the ocean. So we're starting with fun facts. I want to go like deep scientific, but I thought let's keep it light for now. And this could be part one of a series, or I might just make the video longer. We'll see. Fact number one. The ocean covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, which I think the girls know that. Two, about 94% of Earth's wildlife is found in the ocean. 3. More than 70% of the Earth's oxygen is produced by the ocean. If more than 10% of the Earth's surface is oxygen, it's the ocean. That makes sense. 5% of the land belonging to the United States is surrounded by the ocean. That makes sense when you think about it. The sun is what makes the ocean blue. Number 6. The deepest part of the ocean is called the Mariana Trench. I always thought it was the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench, which is around 7 miles deep and is located in the South Pacific Ocean. 7 miles deep is a long way down. The water pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is 8 tons per square inch. This means the pressure there is enough to crush you. Which also makes, if you're covered by 7 miles worth of water. Yeah, girl, gravity. That's crazy though. Number 8, coral creates its own sunscreen by producing coral fluorescence. I made that up. Coral fluoresce that protects the algae found in coral. 9. The largest mountain range is found underwater and is called the Mid-Oceanic Ridge. That is around 40,390 miles long. The loudest sound ever recorded was made by an iceberg. In 1997, the sound was recorded and named the bloop. The bloop. The bloop. It was said to be heard from more than 3,000 miles away. That's like the entirety of the United States, right? Like from coast to coast. Mainland. It's funny because somebody says mainland, they say the contiguous 48 or the contiguous U.S., but it's given mainland if you have Hawaii, and Alaska, and territory like Puerto Rico and such. This is the mainland, girl. Ice found in the ocean is safe enough to drink. You first must let the fresh ice sit to let the brine release. After that, the ice is safe to consume. That's interesting. 90% of the Earth's volcanic activity happens in the ocean. It is estimated there are more than 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor. Now that is crazy. 3 million. There are more historic artifacts under the sea than I know. Sorry, that's a hot topic. Because anyway, there are more historic artifacts under the sea than in all of the world's museums. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia can be seen from the moon. Now, have they actually seen it from the moon? I need to get into the Great Barrier Reef because I don't know enough about it. I just know it's in Australia. 14% of the Earth's protein comes from the ocean. That's hard. Number 17. The largest blue whale on record was 108 feet long. That's as tall as an 11-story building. 108 feet is a big-ass whale. Number 18. 1% of the ocean is covered in coral reefs. So 1%. Which means, do I want to do the math? Because 1% of 70%. What does that mean? 0.7% of the earth is covered in coral reef. How is that math all the way wrong? Only 5% of the ocean's floor has been mapped in detail. Justin Timberlake has a song called Blue Ocean Floor, and I love it. Number 20, and last but not least, there are more than 400 species of sharks in the ocean. So thank you to Brigham Young University in Hawaii. And now we're going to go to 38 ocean facts that will blow you out of the water by Best Life Online. Now, bestlifeonline.com, I'm not here to say if she's credible or not, because I don't know. The last one was the university page, .edu, so it's had the credibility. But our girls over here at Best Life, I don't know too much about them. So Emerald Catron wrote this, and hopefully they know what they're talking about. So, it reads, you probably know that the majority of our planet's surface is covered by bodies of water. Specifically, it's a hair shy of 71. What you might not have heard, though, is that the sea waves can move at hundreds of miles per hour, or that the ocean's depths are home to millions of tons of coal, or that scientists have more detailed, more extensive maps of Mars than they do of our own oceans. Yes, as deep as our planet's oceans are physically, they're deeper still when it comes to the mystery and fascination. The following little known facts about the ocean are sure to blow you out of the water. We'll be the judge of that. Thanks to the ocean, most of our planet is dark. Oceans have an average depth of 12,100 feet. Oh my God. And become light waves only. Oh my gosh. And because light waves can only penetrate 330 feet of water, everything below that point is dark. Seeing as water makes up most of the planet, that means that most of the earth exists in absolute darkness all the time. That is kind of crazy. But I feel like that's just kind of like, by the same logic, everything underground is dark. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think, like, even without the ocean, if we're like talking about things that are 330 feet below sea level, then yeah, everything is going to be dark down there, sister. But that was good. The loudest ocean sound came from an ice quake. We know that already. 1997. The bloop, the bloop, the bloop, the bloop, the bloop. Oh my God, we're so smart. 3. The ocean's canyons make the Grand Canyon seem small. I'm watching. Not to take anything away from the gorgeous Grand Canyon on Earth, but the Zimchung Canyon, located in the Bering Sea, has a vertical relief of 8,520 feet, almost 2,500 feet deeper than the Grand Canyon. It's weird that it says from the gorgeous Grand Canyon on Earth, like the Sea Canyon is still on Earth. The biggest ocean waves are beneath its surface. Shut up. The biggest ocean waves are not the ones that you see from the shoreline. As physical oceanographer Kim Martini told Deep Sea News, the largest waves that occur in the ocean are called internal waves, which take place between two fluids with two different densities. As these internal waves travel for thousands of miles, no less, they can grow up to be 650 feet tall. Water at the bottom of the ocean is incredibly hot. I mean, that makes sense. All the volcanic activities down there. In these deepest parts of the ocean, the water temperature may only be 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, with the exception of water coming out of the hydrothermal vents in the seafloor. The water released from the vents can be up to 400 degrees Celsius, which is 750 degrees Fahrenheit. My God. It's the intense pressure at these depths pressure that would crush you, that keeps the water from boiling. Interesting. The ocean is home to nearly 95% of all life. With so much going on, blah, 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 blah. Coral produces its own sunscreen that we know. There's enough gold in the ocean for each of us to have 9 pounds of it. There is around 20 million tons of gold dispersed throughout the oceans. It is, however, diluted pretty much to a pulp. Its concentration is only a few parts per trillion, according to the National Ocean Service. The ocean floor also has undiscovered gold embedded in it, but it's not cost-effective to mine it. However, if the ocean's gold were equally distributed among every person on Earth, we'd each receive 9 pounds of it. Number 9. There is an ice sheet larger than the continental United States. Now, this continental United States means the whole thing. Just 2 vestiges, that's right, of ice remain from our planet's last ice age: the Greenland ice sheet and the Antarctic ice sheet. The latter of the 2 is staggering in size, clocking in at 5.4 million square miles. According to the National Solar and Ice Data Center, that's a center for everything. It's roughly the size of the continental United States and Mexico combined. Wow. Sharks have their own underwater cafe. It turns out humans aren't the only creatures in need of a winter vacation. In 2002, scientists discovered an area in the remote part of the Pacific Ocean, partway between Baja California and Hawaii, where typical coastal great white sharks will migrate to in the winter. The scientists named the spot the White Shark Cafe, and some sharks hang around the area for months before heading back to the coast for warmer weather. I mean, that's literally just migration. Like, that's not a cafe. Just because you name it a cafe doesn't make it a cafe. If that's the case, every animal that migrates, for different seasons has a cafe. Number 11. The planet's longest mountain range is underwater and is 10 times longer than the Andes. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to remember what it's called. Actually, they don't have the mid-oceanic ridge, which snakes between all continents. Oh, really? It clocks in at around 40,000 miles long. The Pacific Ocean is wider than the moon. At its widest point from Indonesia all the way to Colombia, the Pacific Ocean is wider than the moon by quite a lot. The expanse of ocean is 12,300 miles long, which is more than 5 times the diameter of the moon. One iceberg could supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. A large iceberg from Antarctica contains more than 20 billion gallons of water, which could conceivably supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. But this piece of information isn't just a great way to illustrate how massive these icebergs are. A company in the UAE is actually planning to begin towing icebergs from Antarctica to the coast for exactly this reason. This country receives, on average, just 4 inches of rainfall each year and is at risk of serious drought in the next 25 years, but may be able to solve the problem with this iceberg water solution. Now, what are the ethics on that one? I guess it's no different than anything else, like taking plants or taking fish. This was kind of shady to take the ocean's water, but it'll go back. Yeah, I'm sure it'll make its way back to the ocean at some point. So. Unless it doesn't. All roads lead to the... Anyway, okay. The pressure at the bottom of the ocean would crush you like an ant. Now, why are ants in it? The planet's biggest waterfall is in the ocean. Oh, that's sickening. The tallest waterfall you're going to see on land is Angel Falls in Venezuela, which has a drop of over 3,200 feet. Oh, it's beautiful in this picture. Sorry that y'all can't see it. But that's nothing compared to the Denmark Strait Cataract, which is an underwater waterfall in between Greenland and Iceland. The temperature difference in the water on either side of the strait. When the cold water from the east hits the warmer water from the west, it flows ocean's surface. The flow rate of the waterfall is more than 123 cubic feet per second, which is 50,000 times that of Niagara Falls. Now, do they have, like, visuals of this? More people have been to the moon than the Mariana Trench. In human history, 1 dozen people have set foot on the moon, but just 3 people have managed to make it to the Mariana Trench because of the extreme conditions there. One of those people, director James Cameron, who wrote about the dive for the magazine National Geographic. Okay, Mr. Titanic. Half of the United States exists below the ocean. According to CBS News, more than half of the United States exists underwater. How, you ask? Simple. The borders of our country don't stop where the land ends. They expand 200 nautical miles away from the shore. Okay. Oceans have lakes and rivers too. The ocean is like an entirely separate world. There are trenches, mountains, volcanoes, and lakes and rivers. As seawater makes its way through layers of salt and water, it forms little depressions on the ocean floor. Because of the water around these depressions contain more salt than normal seawater, it's denser and sinks into the depressions, creating little briny pools. These are a lot like lakes we know, in that they have shorelines and some of them even have waves. Okay, that's cool. Why don't the girls go down to the ocean lakes for, for a holiday, for vacation? 4th of July is coming up. I wanted, they gather around, like, let's go out to Lake Bahamas. I don't know. The Mediterranean used to be dry. The Mediterranean used to be a dry basin until some 5 million years ago during the Zanclean flood, in which water from the Atlantic poured through the Strait of Gibraltar and filled the basin. Theories around as to how this happened, but one catastrophic interpretation has the basin filling up in only 2 years thanks to a massive torrent of water. I don't know why that is catastrophic, but number 2, sea ice is drinkable. We learned about that. 21, can you do something for me? There's an internet connection in the ocean. For the past few decades, submarine cables buried deep within the ocean have carried more than 99% of intercontinental data traffic, meaning that overseas communication is made possible by ocean-based cables. Shut the fuck up, wait. Sorry for my language. For the past few decades, submarine cables buried deep within the oceans have carried more than 99% of intercontinental data traffic, meaning that overseas communication is made possible by ocean-based. I guess, like, I've never thought about that, like how we are able to communicate with people in, like, different continents. I never thought it was the ocean. That kind of gagged me. 22, most of the Earth's volcanic activity is in the ocean. We knew that. 23, tsunamis move at 500 miles per hour. My God. Tsunamis are triggered by seismic events and can, according to the Natural History Museum of Utah, move across, what is Utah about tsunamis? Move across the ocean at speeds of 500 miles per hour when the ocean depth is 3.7 miles. These waves are usually unnoticed as they are only a few inches above the surface. And as the waves move toward land and the depth shrink, they pick up water and increase in above surface size, but it's also slow down. The United States lost a hydrogen bomb in the ocean. Way to go. Every year, shipping containers get lost in the ocean, really, and oil spills are unfortunately common. But in 1996, the United States managed to lose a hydrogen bomb at sea. Luckily, according to History.com, it was eventually found with help of a Spanish fisherman. What do they mean, according to History.com? Like, was it found or not? The world's largest living structure is in the ocean. The world's largest living structure is an enormous copse of trees or even a massive fungus. It's the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia. The reef spreads out over an area of 133,000 square miles. Oh my God. And it's so huge that it can actually be seen from outer space. There are 3 million shipwrecks in the ocean. That's too many. From the Titanic to Christopher Columbus, Santa Maria. The oceans are home to around 3 million shipwrecks, according to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Number 27. The ocean has more artifacts than all the world's museums combined. We knew that. 28. If all the ice melted, the sea level would rise 26 stories. Whoa, we are fucked if we don't get that figured out. According to the NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, oh my gosh, if all of the glaciers and sheets of Arctic sea ice melted at the same time, the sea level would rise an estimated 262 feet, which is about the height of a 26-story building, just a bit shorter than the Statue of Liberty. 29. The ocean is a magnet for heat. The ocean is the largest solar energy collector on Earth, according to the NOAA, which is, the proliferation of greenhouse gases prevents heat from escaping our planet's atmosphere, and all that energy has to go somewhere. Unfortunately, they go straight into the oceans. As a result, ocean temperatures have rapidly risen over the past few decades. Lastly, oh my god, there's so many. It's not lastly. The ocean is our greatest source of oxygen that we knew. We have better maps of Mars than of the ocean. We also knew that. Okay, I think I'm going to cut it here. Oh no, there's a few more. We're almost done. Number 32. More than 90% of the planet's life forms are undiscovered and underwater. Number 33. Nearly 100% of the Earth's living space is in the ocean. I wonder if that includes like, that must not be surface area, that must be like including depth. Yeah. The part of the ocean that's the furthest from land is named after a classic novel. Down in the Pacific Ocean, Point Nemo is the most remote spot in another of the world's oceans. According to the NOAA, it's about 1,600 miles from land, and it's aptly named after the character in Jules Verne's famous book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. 35. The protein that helps Arctic fish live in super cold temperatures may change how our food is stored. I'm not going to go into that one. And then 36. The ocean's rip currents are the biggest danger you face at the beach. 37. Climate change impacting the Atlantic could put northern Europe in a deep freeze. Last but not least, by 2050, the plastic in the ocean will outweigh the fish. That was dark. I don't want to end on that one. Maybe I should.